Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency with location.
Gonzo on the restart.
Weaves his way, fires and scores.
We're going to attack, coming middle, trying to free himself
up, shot, score. Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin.
He wants a shot and he's got it. Wow.
Meanwhile, Arbusto.
One-handed shot is up and in.
Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up Gabord, and it's time to pluck a chicken.
Nah. But a good one-handed scoop up.
Oh, Ryan, and he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice play.
Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground. Chase, extra feed, shot, score, game over.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Londonderry. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. Early second quarter here at Lancer Park. We apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties, but we're off and running now. And so are the Londonderry Lancers after surrendering the first 2 goals to their crosstown rival Pinkerton. A moment ago, junior Parker Lewis got Londonderry on the board. The Lancers are in possession, and now, Roger, with about 2.5 minutes gone by in this second quarter, they're looking to tie this game at 2, and they do right here.
Beautiful, good call.
It's the long pole, Bentley-bound Cam Brutus. One of the captains gets this crowd fired up, and we're back to even at 2 apiece.
Yeah, this kid Brutus, I'm telling you, he is a one-man wrecking crew. Last couple of games I've seen him play, Nick, they have literally given him the ball, and he's gone from end to end. He's an all-around Swiss Army knife, as I like to call him out there. He's doing face-offs today. Just a great long pole, multifaceted player out there, and he proved it right there.
One of the better all-around athletes in the Londonderry school as well. Member of that successful football program. So 2-2 as we see the face-off this time go to Pinkerton as their Fogo sophomore Dylan Stingle wins it by himself. Now Stingle going to draw the attention of the defense, dump it off behind the cage, and the Pinkerton attack looks to settle in here. It's been a lively atmosphere. Both teams are getting rowdy for the opener.
Yeah, lots of noise.
A lot of the folks who watched the JV game stuck around. There's a strong student section just over our right shoulder. Everything you could expect when these two rivals meet. Pinkerton, of course, has had the lion's share of the wins, heads up over the years, but under second-year head coach Dave Wiedenfeld, this Lancer team may have a shot to pull the quote-unquote upset here at home.
Yeah, and that last play there by Morrison, coming out of his stick kind of funky there. We don't normally see him miss the net that badly, so he'll dial in. He'll dial in.
Morrison, the junior midfielder. Meanwhile, tough angle shot, a dodge, and a big hit is going to draw a flag. Defender came over on the slide. That's Cam Ayotte a little too aggressively there.
Yeah, they're going to get a cross-check on number 2 there, Paddles.
So with 4 minutes gone by, second quarter, Pinkerton a golden opportunity here to retake the lead. They scored both their goals tonight in that first quarter. Lancers at 4-3 overall on the season. Pinkerton at 4-5. Of course, year in and year out, the Astros like to challenge themselves with that out-of-state portion of the schedule.
And they've done that. They've had some out-of-state games this year.
Chance to get it back to 500 with a win tonight. They'll start the man-up possession by moving it around the perimeter here. Now goal line extended. Here's Morrison on the near wing, back up top.
Not seeing the same kind of movement we're used to seeing out of the Astros on their man up here. Now we're getting something.
Morrison thought about it.
Still not.
Here's a shot. That one didn't come out cleanly. Benjamin Quintilani had his sights on the third Pinkerton goal there.
Yeah, we're used to seeing a lot of rotations on the corners where they're trying to match up some 3-on-2s, and they're not doing that as much so far, at least. Yeah, they're getting pressed out.
Poked a little bit there by the defender, Brutus, who almost caused the turnover. The man-up continues. Quintilani, Morrison looks for a back door. That's in a crowd, and the ground ball is scooped up by Brutus.
Good collapse there by Londonderry.
Now Brutus going to figure out a way to get out of his own end. Pass over the middle is off target and turned over, then batted down again. This ball on the ground near side wing before it's scooped up by Pinkerton's James Caruso. Sophomore defender saves the day, and the Astros settle back in on the attack here. Back to even strength. 2-2 as we head towards the midway point, second quarter.
Good turn. Good save by Barrett.
It's the senior goaltender,
back.
Nathan Barrett, but persistence pays off there for Pinkerton.
And number 11, I believe, from Pinkerton.
It's Owen Perkins.
Is it?
He's the goaltender.
Yeah, hold on there. 13 by the looks. 13.
It would be Cole Summers, the senior, one of these talented upperclassmen for Coach Steve Gaudreau. So Pinkerton, they score a man-up goal to retake the lead here 3-2. And we'll look to ride the momentum at the X as Brutus will face Stengel again. It's been the exclusive matchup so far in this first half.
Actually, Londonderry's had number 21 out there on a couple of them when Brutus has made some runs. So they've given him a couple breaks out there. That's Logan Heward, who's done at least 2 faceoffs now.
Here's Stengel going all the way. Shot there, deterred with a low save by Barrett. Ground ball out in front. Londonderry gets to it.
Got to go.
High pass up the sideline is too strong, and now another ground ball. Colby Waldron, the former goaltender, gets to it. Throws an overhead pass for Brutus, who hauls it in, and we get an immediate timeout from Coach Wiedenfeld. Of course, Coach, a former standout player for the Lancers, not too long ago, and now in his second season as the head man.
Second season out of Keene State. His younger brother Jeff is there right now. I talked to Coach briefly before the game, and Keene is made it to the semifinals in Little East. Jeff's a big part of that offense, and then all 3 of the Wiedenfeld brothers have gone to Keene, believe it or not. Mike, the older one, was a senior when my son Matthew was a freshman there. So they kind of take the real estate over there in Keene a little bit.
Midway through second quarter, Roger, let's get your keys since we did not have a pregame. What are we watching for here tonight?
Well, I mean, you and I talked off camera, and I've been fascinated by the big change on the Londonderry side, which is Colby Waldron coming out of the net. He is no longer a goaltender. And talking with his father a couple days ago, and then with Coach Wiedenfeld before the game, he's not even going to play goaltender during the summer league. So he's a committed attackman as a junior, and he's surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly to some, the highest scorer on the team.
He had been the starting goaltender the previous 2 seasons.
Yes.
Caught the job as a freshman back in 2022.
So I don't know what the key to the game is. Certainly that's a big change on the offensive side for the Lancers, and it has paid off because him and Cam Brutus are the 2 leading scorers on the team. But Londonderry's got to get the whole package going here, especially against Pinkerton.
And how about for the Astros? What do we look for as they gun for their 5th win?
I have not heard a lot out of Matt Morrison since the Bedford game where they shut him off pretty much. He had 1 goal in that game. Really haven't heard a lot from him. They need the captain to get on board.
Ty Parsons.
Here it is.
Wiedenfeld dialed up that play. Shot there for Walden goes off the post. It'll stay here with Londonderry.
Good backup there.
Liam Knight trying to wrap it around. He's got 2 defenders on him.
Oh, nice
Walden
look.
gives
Beautiful.
it up, and there is the finish on the doorstep. Put home right out in front.
27.
So we're tied at 3.
What a nice, quick hitch move by Colby Waldron up here at the top on the goalie's right. And he just pulls out back just enough to open up the slide that's coming through. And he finds number 27 parked right there in the crease. No chance. No chance for the goalie there.
Unselfish pass by Walden, who gets the assist. And Londonderry hanging around after trailing initially 2-0. They've come back to tie it at 3. Meanwhile, Stengel continues to provide the advantage at X for Pinkerton as the sophomore wins another.
Get him up already 6-2 on faceoff, so that's a dominant part of the Astros game for sure.
Here's Morrison over to Quintilani. Plenty of room here as they operate just past the midfield stripe.
Good slide.
Santa Massimo forced to give it up. Gets it back now. Goal line extended. Now behind the cage, Matt Gormady. Gormady, excuse me.
Could go either way, I guess.
Yeah. Pinkerton showing patience here. Now Quintilani. His pass knocked down. Good play with the long pole.
Yep.
That's Logan Heward who scooped it, but a whistle is going to keep it at this end.
The illegal screen coming out of there for Heward. Great play by Heward, but his teammate screened him off.
Inside of 5 minutes until halftime. Astros.
Oh, nice play.
Spin move, and there it is. A beautiful move by Gormady. Able to spin his way away from two different defenders and then cash in near the goal. So Pinkerton going to retake the lead here 4-3.
I like what he did there too. He got right on goal line extended as best the angle I can see here, and you could tell he had the momentum of the defenseman going away from goal line extended, which opened up that inside for him to pivot in. Nice play, just a nice play. Two different sizes there. His shorter size really worked to his advantage there.
Meanwhile, back at X, Stingle from Pinkerton has won 3 straight. And as you mentioned a moment ago, Roger, 6 of the 8 so far in this first half.
Nope, I thought he went early there.
Brutus going to win this for Londonderry. Here he comes right down Broadway, but he's mauled from behind. Ball goes loose. It's going to take a high bounce towards the Lancer bench. Astros get to it initially, but Brendan Carney took a pop.
Timeout. Did he get a timeout here?
I think he got bailed out there by Coach Gaudreau.
Timely.
So a timeout. It's going to preserve the Pinkerton possession. With 4.5 remaining in this second quarter. So we've seen now a timeout each way in this frame.
So I'm going to tell you something. I've watched Cam Brutus. I think I've seen him play 3 times this year, not to mention last year. And because he does so much on the faceoffs, a lot of defenders have a wider head. Okay, they almost have, like back in the day, they would call it a basket head almost. Big head, lots of surface area, a lot of area to get the checks in. His head, if you look at it very closely, it's getting squashed. It's getting squashed, and it's very narrow. So when he wins a faceoff like that and he comes down the gut, it's very, very difficult for him to get a really good, clean shot. And I watched him especially on Monday against Dover, and he missed a couple goals that he should have had just because of that stick. And I wonder if, the face-off guys that are strictly Fogos most of the time, they'll take a softball and they'll stick a softball in their cross, and they'll keep the plastic stretched out. I wonder if he's doing that as a practice, because he's not their full-time face-off guy, but he does it enough that it's certainly affecting that black head that he's using.
You mentioned the battle with Dover. That was an 8-7 Londonderry win back on Monday.
And Dover had a man-up opportunity, down by 1 with about 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and they threw it out of bounds. And the Lancers, you can't give them the ball back with less than 2 minutes and expect that you're going to secure any type of comeback there, and they didn't. The Lancers won that one.
Meanwhile, out of the timeout, Morrison lost it. Another pole making a play for Londonderry. Owen Rondo, the senior, looks for help from his mates. And now on the clear attempt, a long pass will get it over midfield.
Excellent clear. Nice crisp passes cross field. That's how you're going to get the drop ride that the Astros do to move and be out of position. And that was a really good clear for the Lancers.
Parsons one-on-one against Morrison inside of 4 minutes, second quarter. Londonderry hits the reset button. Lewis, spin move to his right. Can't evade the defender. The pass is off target. Ball's going to roll back towards midfield, where it's dug out by Parsons. And now Parsons again meets Morrison with the left shoulder. Finds Waldron, who comes
nice
middle.
Look.
Little give and go, but it was poked loose.
Morrison
got a stick in the passing lane. However, the ground ball ends up with Londonderry as Parsons again is Johnny on the spot for the Lancers.
Watch for them to go in ISO here. 10's very tired by the looks. That's going to be a flag.
James Caruso. There's no flag. Well, he went down.
I thought.
Now we get a whistle. The trail official is the one who blew it.
Yeah. I think that's this is Brian Murphy on the near side and Chris Day on the far side. Brian is actually the senior official here.
They're going to get together and chat.
Yeah.
That whistle came about 3-4 seconds after the hit.
Yeah, and after the start of the play, after the turnover. I thought it should have been a flag there.
So the ruling is Pinkerton possession.
Yeah.
As Londonderry gets back on their heels. We get the whistle, and we resume here with just over 3 minutes to go until halftime. Coming up at halftime, look back at the first half. As we get an interception here from Walden. Head on a swivel, surrounded by 4. Hooks up with a man to his left. Spin move on the inside turn by Blake Thompson, draws a slide. Thompson retreats to the far wing, and Londonderry is going to set up the attack here. But first,
excellent.
We have a timeout from Coach Wiedenfeld.
What a day not to have a replay. That is exactly what I have been telling in these broadcasts for 4 years. Follow your stick out of trouble. That's exactly what Thompson just did right there. He got chicken winged. He got flambéed. He had guys all around him, and all he did was stick his stick out, and he followed it out to the sideline, hold on to the ball, get a possession. That's what you need to do when you're in that kind of trouble. Not try and dodge and swim move and all that stuff out of trouble. He did the right thing there.
Our broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally, by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Again, we apologize for the late start to the broadcast, but we're up and running now, and it's been a pretty competitive first half.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I'm seeing out of both teams. And I think you and I talked maybe a couple weeks ago after that Londonderry-Exeter game where Londonderry had only scored 5 goals in that game, and one was by Colby Waldron and the other one was by Cam Brutus. But they've come a long way. I've seen them several times this year, and as is always the case, it seems with Londonderry, they get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, they've won 2 of their last 3. And again, looking for that marquee first half of the season win, and that could come tonight if they beat Pinkerton.
Exactly. Great play.
Shot,
nice.
Score.
Yeah, there it is.
Walden goes low. Had to reel it in overhead, make the adjustment, and zinged one past the freshman goaltender, Owen Perkins, to tie the game at 4 with 2:28 to go in this first half.
Well, normally in lacrosse you wouldn't give an assist to number 14 there, Mr. Lewis, but he really created that play. He had a nice play over here on the sideline, got away from his defender, drew him back down low, which means the slide's got to be looking down low, and left Waldron with a vision to find some space inside. Great pass back to him, and Waldron capitalized.
So you're going to give him the assist?
I did. There it is, number 14, right on my scorecard.
He's made an impact in this first half. He scored a goal in the opening minutes of the second quarter as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here's a pretty spin move. This is Damon Dawson, the junior. Still got it. Going to circle around the net. And Londonderry looks for their first lead here of the game.
They've scrapped, Nick. They have scrapped on the face-off circle everywhere on the field. Picking off passes.
It's been a physical first half.
Always. These two teams, you kidding me?
Yeah. You can see it's high energy on both sidelines.
Absolutely. Right from fall to basketball to spring.
Doesn't matter the sport.
Doesn't. A lot of pride out there.
Here comes Lewis. A little bit of speed. He's behind the cage. This is Gavin McIntosh, the senior. And now Walden will raise the left hand and call something out here. Defender going to challenge. That's the long pole, Brandon Carney. Now Lewis. Minute 25 to go. A little bit of breathing room near side. Goal line extending. Going to go now behind net.
Oh, nice play. Oh, he had it.
Trying to shake the defender. There's Walden. Changes planes on that shot. It ends up high. It'll stay with the Lancers.
I think these two here on our near side have been doing a lot of after-practice stuff. they seem to be able to feel each other out where the draw comes up from goal line, right about here. And then he gets some space.
Lewis going to skip his way out of trouble.
Oh,
back
nice.
Inside. That's a tough shot. Swallowed up by Perkins. Outlet taken on the far side for Pinkerton's Jackson Chase. And now down the middle, trying to get something going in transition. Another pass, though, is knocked down. Ground ball ensued. Scooped up just below the knee by Parsons for Londonderry. Parsons trying to power his way downfield. To slow things up as we approach 30 seconds to go. Here's Cam Brodus. Gets inside. Going to fire and score. And
no, outside.
No. Oh, wow. It's in the netting. You're right. My eyes cheated me there. We're going to stay tied at 4. Clock running inside of 20 seconds now. Pinkerton has it.
Good back-to-back action here.
Yeah.
Really good.
Chase goes middle. Santomassimo hounded by Waldron. And Coach Gaudreau is going to use another timeout here to stop the clock with 8 seconds remaining. So enough time, perhaps, for the former St. Anselm head coach to draw up something specific here and get one final look.
Yeah, I want to see what he's drawing up here with 8 seconds. I would say, well, we talked about it in the Bedford game. They have this play that I've been able to scout out with Morrison up top. I won't give out the name of it, but I would suspect we'll see something in an isolation with Matt Morrison up top, maybe a 4 across, give him some space, see if he can do something there, and maybe a pop off the crease out of that 1-4 play that they run, which, if you remember, Bedford mimicked that same play several times in that game to beat Pinkerton, and we were curious. I was very curious as to why Pinkerton didn't go back and start isolating Morrison a little more, but they parked him on the crease more in that game, if you recall, and I thought he was just dead dog tired. He was the same thing today where he's going both ways. Sometimes, this new way of looking at the old way of doing things where you keep a mini on the field and you're not specializing with defensive guys in and out. Sometimes at these guys that aren't used to that, you have to plant them somewhere. They're talented. You got to keep them somewhere on the field. So we'll see. And I do see Morrison coming up with the ball here. So
of course, he's one of the Astros' standout football players, one of their running backs, and also a track star in the winter as well. All right, here it is, Roger. You called it. Morrison, little shuffle step.
There it is. There it is.
Dodge. There's the shot, but it's about a foot high.
Yeah, good call.
Sails out of bounds with a fraction of a second remaining. 0.8 on the clock, and that is going to do it for the first half. 4-4 in a rivalry game at the midway point here at Lancer Park. Pinkerton got the first 2, but Londonderry, they have closed out that first half with a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, they did, and just keep watching that Colby-Lewis connection here in the second half and see how they do that. Think about it. If Cam Brutus had connected on 2 of those shots that he missed, they'd be up by 2 right now.
Coming up in just a moment, a look back at that first half, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard as well. Glad to have Roger back to handle that portion of the halftime report. So a lot to get to in just a moment. A 10-minute break here, and then third quarter action as well. Don't go away. Halftime report coming up next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Halftime here in Londonderry. Got a 4-4 game between the Pinkerton Astros and the Londonderry Lancers in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. We got off the ground a little bit tardy, but some hustle and some hard work, and we got you going early in the second quarter.
Who'd have thought you needed electricity to run a broadcast?
Well, at that point, Roger, when we went on the air, it was 2-0.
Yeah.
Pinkerton. They scored 2 in that first quarter, kept Londonderry off the board. But then things evened out a little bit at the X. The Lancer attack got things going. And a kid that was called up from the JV team today.
That's what I'm told.
Scored a goal, Brody Campbell.
Yep.
About midway through that second quarter. So we're tied at 4 here at the midway point.
Boy, that's going to make Coach Wiedenfeld very happy to see that the Farm League is contributing at this level at this time of the year as well, going into some tougher games. And that was a nice goal. It wasn't a cheapie. He earned it. And I think the key for Londonderry this second half here is to try and find that way to free up Brutus a little more, give him some space, not throw the ball away as much. And then on Pinkerton's side, they tried doing it here at the end with Morrison. I think Matt looks tired. There's just something about him that's not right. And he's had some injuries. I'm not saying he's injured, but I am saying that there's something. He must be the one that they've been keying in on all season long, and it looks like some wear and tear is coming his way. I don't know.
Well, you got to credit the Lancer defense,
yeah,
for sure, and the game plan Coach Wiedenfeld had.
Yeah.
And, well, who knows what is in store for the second half. But some of those team stats, Roger, you alluded to off air, started in Pinkerton's favor but seemingly evened out, especially at the face-off X.
Yeah, you track consecutive face-offs. I track more of the totals and who's taken them. But I think Stengel had a run of 4 there for a while between the first quarter and the second quarter, and it looked like they were going to walk away with the face-offs. But you know, again, Cam Brutus is not going to be that primary guy every single time. And when they can put Heward in there, number 21, also a long pole, I think that mixes things up just enough, like you see a lot of teams doing nowadays. And I think it's all because of Pinkerton and, you know, the Cole Franks and, you know, the plethora of good face-off guys at BG. You've got to find a way to mix it up. We made that same call, I think, 2 years ago in the finals at Bedford with Timberlane, where all of a sudden, you know, they throw Billy Savage out there at the very end of the game,
right,
and it turns the they didn't win the game, but they started turning the momentum around a little bit, and that's what you got to do in this game. When you got a guy that's hot, Stengel's been hot, they've neutralized that a little bit, and now it's 6-4 in favor of Pinkerton, not a runaway.
Yeah. Full recap of this one coming your way tomorrow. Special time for FNL Lacrosse presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, live 6 o'clock tomorrow. Typically it's Wednesday, but of course we're here tonight, so tune in tomorrow. All right, Roger, some other scores, including a big battle in Division II to get to.
Yeah, I wish I had more scores, but I think the big one that we were watching along with the Portsmouth game against Hollis Brookline is that that game against St. Thomas against Timberlane at Timberlane. It said in NHIAA schedule that it was a home game for STA. It was not. Double overtime. Timberlane comes away with it 10-9. And Mr. Saris, I think his name is, Josh Saris gets the overtime winner for the Owls. Coach Blaska is going to be very happy with that.
Big marquee win for the Owls in a matchup of two widely considered contenders in Division II. All right, here we go. Third quarter about to begin here at Lancer Park. And we get a violation against Stengel.
Yeah, right off the bat.
So that's technically 3 straight wins at the face-off X for Cam Brutus. Londonderry never played with the lead in that first half. Hoping to change that here, but Brutus loses his stick. Ground ball picked up by Morrison, and here he comes, one of the faster players statewide. Short pass, sent to Massimo, underhand, got knocked. Picked up by one of the captains, Richard Wong, who's going to backpedal his way to safety here on the near wing, and now the Astros will reset.
He didn't look tired then on that stretch.
No. Some personnel changes both ways. And around the horn it goes. Well, Morrison drops to one knee to collect that. Up top and now coming at full speed is Adam Scala, one of these veterans for Pinkerton. He lost it. Poked loose on the slide, picked up after one bounce by John Padels. And now it's Londonderry on the clear. Brutus going to jog across midfield, and again the Lancers look for their first lead with just over a minute gone by in this third quarter.
And Brutus with the ball. I wonder how many touches a game this kid gets. He's all over the field.
They ask him to do a lot, and he does it well.
He's going to come off now.
Meanwhile, here comes Parker Lewis. A goal and an assist in that first half for the junior. Gets chased out of the corner, behind the net. Still in pursuit is the long pole defender, Wong. Slide comes over, trying to muscle his way to the middle. The shot and score is going to go, and Londonderry has their first lead. It's Aiden Stoll, sophomore midfielder, in a crowd. Beat Perkins low, and all of a sudden Londonderry has a 5-4 lead.
Well, you know, that whole play was because of, again, our Mr. Lewis. And he just ran, and he got to the backside of that, tired his defender out, looped back inside. The defender needed help, and that leaves Stoll open and parked right on the crease. Nice play.
5 goals from 5 different goal scorers for the home team. Meanwhile, Stengel survives a hit, collects the ground ball as we get a whistle. And looks like a push here against Pinkerton.
I didn't see it. I thought he may have grazed his head, but
the Astros will take it. Morrison looks for the trailer. Shot, score.
There it is. Scala come right back.
Yeah, that's Adam Scala, who made it look easy. The Keene State College commit went right into the teeth of the defense there. So Londonderry's lead short-lived, as we're even again at 5 apiece.
Yeah, and that's something we'll have to watch for, because you don't normally see the Astros go down the gut like that after coughing up the ball from Morrison. They like to do a lot of sweeps and rollbacks, but that was right down the gut, and good for Scala. He found some daylight.
Brutus against Stengel. The wings collapse. Stengel ends up with it. Bumped on the pass, taken off the bounce. And now looking for breathing room here is Carney. Going to get rid of it. Morrison, good swim move, draws a slide, dumps it behind the cage. Extra pass, fielded low, and then broken up by Brutus.
Yeah.
Ground ball taken on the doorstep by Cam Ayotte for Londonderry, and now off and running is Dawson. Morrison in pursuit. Dawson is going to loop back around and pull it out for the home team. A heady play there.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the touch. You're a D-mid. Retain possession, get off.
So 5-5 here with 3 minutes gone, third quarter. And again, Londonderry wants to lead.
Smart play on both sides here tonight, too, Nick. It's not a lot of run-and-gun mistakes and things like that. They're playing lacrosse like you need to when you're evenly matched like this. Ball possession is going to be key.
Haven't seen too many unforced errors.
No, not a lot of mistakes. Not a lot of balls flying out of bounds on clears and just bad mistakes on the offensive side of things. Very patient, smarter play than what we're used to seeing earlier in the season with these two teams.
And as we approach the midway point,
nice look
of the regular season, you would expect things to shape up a little bit. Meanwhile, this one is a turnover. Carney in transition. Astros want the lead. They go backdoor, and there it is. Shot and score, top shelf for Matt Gormady. That's the sophomore's second goal today in Pinkerton. After trailing momentarily, they score back-to-back goals and are back out in front 6-5.
Oh, do I miss our replay. Londonderry had this covered on the fast break. They had it covered, and then all of a sudden they just pinched in a little too much, and the distance between number 13 and 12 just widened up very, very quickly, and they had it covered. There was no point guy for the Astros, and they popped it in. Good for them.
Goes off Stengel's left foot just as he planned, as he picks it up. Meanwhile, a brutal attack by Brutus forces a turnover. Able to swing that long stick, had it briefly, and now it's back the other way. Santa Massimo is now at full speed for Pinkerton. Absorbs a check, goes left, winds up, a bouncing shot ends up in the corner.
Yep, that's okay. That's a good take. Haven't seen a lot of transition like that today, but that was a good take for Santa Messina. I like that.
Had it backed up by Wong.
Yep.
Now the senior will put it in play. Pinkerton looking to match their largest lead, which was 2-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Going to try again.
On the move, Santa Massimo swallowed up. It's Nate Barrett who saw it the whole way, the senior with a quick outlet. Trying to spark the break. Aiden White down the middle. Londonderry, though, they don't have the numbers, and they'll pull it back for the trailer. Drops the pass, and then Lewis comes right back onto the field and scoops up the ground ball.
Yeah, again, smart, heady play there by Londonderry. You know, you get a quick score from the Astros, and you want to make up for it right away because you don't like being down by one, but hold on to the ball.
Lewis fires on the run. Off balance, ends up wide, and this time there's nobody home on the backside for Londonderry.
Yeah, not a good take there. He had no angle, number one, and the rotation of the offense left them bare naked on the backside, no backup.
High arcing pass handled here by Chase.
Oh, nice move.
Chase down the middle, eyes on the cage, now trying to survive 4 different white jerseys in the area.
Take that.
Santa Massimo will help him out. And again, the Pinkerton attack looks for orders from the sideline. Coach Gaudreau's club, they got a 1-goal lead as we hit the midway point third quarter.
Yeah. Now you want to, settle down here. Get some rest, get Morrison out there.
Here is Morrison, the star junior.
Oh, good ISO here.
1-on-1 against Logan Heward. Back up top it goes. This is James Erickson.
Good switch.
Picked up on the switch by the defender, Connor Woodward.
Oh, good D.
Looking for an angle. Quintilani, back door, a little give and go. Barrett going to foil the plot. The goaltender able to pick that one off along that far pole. And now on the move comes Cam Ayotte. Avoids Wong at midfield. The long pole defender drops the shoulder, and I think we got a penalty on the way.
No, just he hit the box.
Oh.
That's the box signal.
Saw the official raise. Didn't know if there was a whistle coming or not. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Chase, giving chase in the corner, keeps it alive for Pinkerton. Good hustle. Now Morrison. Going to go around one man pretty easily. Get to midfield. Looks middle. Extra pass. Shot. Score.
Again.
It's Gormady.
Yep.
There's the hat trick for the sophomore. And a good extra pass there to set up the shot.
You know what? And I thought that they were going yellow there and to slow it down because you could see the other midfielders coming on the field from the Astros box. But they found the opening. They found the guys. And there's that second connection back-to-back between Gormady and Summers. So he gets the assist on that one as well.
All of a sudden, Roger, 3 straight for Pinkerton.
Yeah, this is defining here, this face-off. This is Heward.
Stingle thought he had it. Ball betrays him. It's out. And ultimately Pinkerton gets to it. It's Ryson Michoud who gets there. Now Wong feeds behind the net. Summers going to go goal line extended, backtrack, and Pinkerton will hit the reset button here. 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Londonderry scored the first goal of this frame. Took their only lead at 5-4, but the last 3 have gone to the Astros. Pinkerton trying to get back to 500. A win today would even up their record at 5-5. Summers, some hot water there near the cage, pulls it out. On the bounce now, it's Erickson. Skip pass. Thought about it. Scala never had the shot, and then this one over the head of Summers and out of bounds back to Londonderry.
And the Astros are looking very smooth on offense right now. It seems like they're just a little more comfortable in their sets, with the exception of that pass there. But everything is moving and rotating well for them right now.
Now the Lancers face the Astro ride, and it doesn't go well. Strip from behind, Gormady.
Oh!
Quick shot, good hustle by Barrett. Able to get back in front at the last second to knock it down, and now a whistle
in the crease
is going to give this to Londonderry as Wong was in the crease. That has got the home fans fired up here at Lancer Park.
Yeah, when I first saw Colby Waldron come out of net and play attack against Exeter earlier this season and Barrett came in, he has come a long way. He doesn't look like he's that big athletic goalie that you've been used to seeing, but, man, he got back hard on that and got it.
Meanwhile, a violation.
Yep, failure to move.
Yep. That's that Pinkerton ride now producing 2 straight turnovers.
Yeah, they've got energy. The Astros have energy, no question. They see it coming, and everything is ticking.
They look for a 4th unanswered goal here. Inside of 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Pinkerton a 7-5 lead. This one poked out of Gormady's stick, backed up by Summers. And now Scala trying to come downhill to his left, trying to spin. Pretty good defensive effort here by Jake Perron. Quintilani absorbs a check, thought about firing it, lost the stick and the ball, a whistle.
Procedure without the stick.
Yep. It's going to go back over to Londonderry, so a win there for the Lancer defense.
Sometimes I don't like that call because of the proximity of the ball to the player, but that was the right call.
So Londonderry been stifled here on the attack with the exception of the lone third quarter goal. Trying to restart the fire here and potentially cut Pinkerton's lead in half. So we head towards 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, they definitely need to get something going here. Pinkerton's been running pretty smooth and eating up the clock.
Short pass out in front, but jammed up on the release. Goaltender out of the cage. The freshman puts out the fire as Perkins gets to it. Quick outlet for Chase. Chase met by Lewis, reverses direction.
Got to get the touch.
Long pole, reeled in overhead by Morrison, a good catch.
Morrison is fresh. He was not out there on that last offensive series, so he's got legs now. Watch for them to run a wing here.
Here's the junior. Meanwhile, both coaches were emphatic there.
They want matchups here.
Yep.
They want specific matchups.
A lot of communication in real time
they had
between
Lewis,
the sideline and the field.
They had Lewis, the attackman, out there on defense.
Scala whips one.
It.
Not happening. It's Barrett. Makes a chest-high save. Outlet far side for Perrin. Perrin trying to shake off Quintilani. And now it's hauled in overhead on the far side by Heward. Heward going to jog back to midfield, looks over at Coach Wiedenfeld. And we're inside of 2 minutes now to go in this third quarter. Again, Londonderry trying to make this a one-goal game.
Yeah, they have patience here. You don't need to score 2 goals on one possession here.
Here's Liam Knight. One-on-one against Morrison. Morrison trying to drive him to the right side. Just no room to operate. Behind the cage, Stoll scored in that first half. Stoll trying to
nice play.
Maneuver, finds a man. The shot, though, swallowed up. Blake Thompson, a pretty good look, but a better save by Perkins. Outlet pass dropped initially. 2 defenders there on the sideline. Chase helps out for Pinkerton on the clear. Minute 10 to go.
Good clear by Pinkerton.
Up top, nobody on him. Shot, saved again by Barrett. Starting to heat up between the pipes. A wide open look for Arison, but
a nice pass.
Again, Barrett is up for the task. Now Padels gets the clear for Londonderry, and they'll slow it down with 45 seconds to go in this quick-moving third quarter.
I don't know if everything that Pinkerton's doing down on this side of the field is crisp. Their passes are crisp, their shots are crisp, but Barrett's rising to the occasion on the shots, and that's all that matters.
So it stays a 2-goal game. Lewis behind the cage, being chased by Morrison. Back up top for Stoll. And Londonderry clearly thinking final shot here. Down to 15 seconds.
You got to do something with it, though.
Pinkerton not giving any daylight at all. Pass in the middle, off target. It's going to roll back towards midfield. 3 seconds to go. Astros get to it. And that'll bring us to the end of this third quarter. Londonderry started it off in promising fashion as they broke open the 4-4 halftime tie and took their only lead of the game. But Pinkerton roars back, 3 unanswered. And after 3 quarters, they lead 7-5. We get the 4th quarter coming up next. Londonderry looking to do something this program hasn't done in a long time. That's beat Pinkerton. Will they do it? We find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Back here, start of the 4th quarter in Londonderry. Got a 7-5 Astros lead on the board in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Pinkerton trying to get back to 500 overall. A win today would put them at 5-5, and they would have emerged victorious in 3 of the last 4. Londonderry also looking for their 3rd win in 4 games, but are going to have to do it from behind here with now 12 minutes remaining.
Yeah, the good news is it could be worse, and it's not. They came storming out in the half, and we're 1 up, and it's 3 straight on Pinkerton, but we'll see what they can do here. Settle in.
This is a 4-4 game at halftime. Londonderry, the opening moments of the 3rd quarter, took a brief 5-4 lead, but Roger said it. The last 3 have gone to the Astros. Meanwhile, we've got an extended scrum that's going to end up with Londonderry. Aiden White ultimately scoops it, but then he's stripped on the pass attempt. Stingle, who remains in the game,
good look,
comes away with the turnover and a good pass. Feathers it up the middle. Now numbers for Pinkerton. Little give and go. Shot.
Got it. He got it.
And a score. Well, a great effort there by Barrett as he tried to close down the 5-hole, but that shot true and on target for Cody Santamassimo, as the senior extends this Pinkerton run to 4 unanswered and extends the lead to 3 goals.
All right, and again, I'm gonna tell you, this whole play and ultimate goal by Santamassimo was generated by Stengel. Loses the faceoff, stays with the ball, not only gets the ground ball on the far side in his defensive half, but goes left-handed, passes upfield to Santamassimo, and gets the goal. Great look. Great play.
So 8-5, that is the largest lead either way. Pinkerton extends the goal streak to 4 in a row. Stingle has won more often than not at the X. Wins there for Pinkerton.
Gets clobbered.
Summers shot, score. A flag on the play, but this should stand. Summers goes low and gets it just past the left foot, it looked like, of the goaltender Nathan Barrett.
I thought that was going to be they haven't made the call yet. I thought it was a personal foul. I thought it was a legal body check.
It came on the hit on the pass.
See if they waive it.
That set up Summers.
Yeah, they're going to call it. Yeah, I don't see the wave, so it's going to be a personal foul here.
I haven't seen too many penalties. Just 1 in that first half, and this is the first since halftime.
Yeah. So yeah, give that,
Summers.
21 seconds between goals here.
Yeah.
And did they waive it? Wait a minute. They must have waived it. The goal's good.
I think there's a man over in the box for Londonderry, Declan Brown.
Okay, so it is Brown. Yeah, 25. No, that's Dawson. 25 is Dawson.
Yeah, you're right. Excuse me. Damon Dawson, the junior. Yeah, he's down there with his left knee on the ground.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be in the box for a minute because that's 11:09, Nick.
So Pinkerton really a chance to do some damage here. Already a bit of a lightning round in this opening minute of the 4th quarter with 2 unanswered.
Yeah, and it's all because of Stengel. It's plain and simple. He lost that first faceoff because of the scrum, but he made it happen outside of the faceoff circle, and now Londonderry's got their heels up.
Meanwhile, the officials still discussing the penalty, I believe, with both head coaches on that far sideline. Coach Wiedenfeld shaking his head a bit. Of course, Coach Gaudreau will take it.
I think it's the right call, Nick. Whether they got the right call as far as the jargon is concerned, it's still going to be a minute no matter what, and it was a personal foul.
Stingle, another win. Going to scoop and then get a timeout from his head coach.
Interesting. Okay.
So Coach Gaudreau pumps the brakes. His team's got the ball. They've got their largest lead of the night on the board at 9-5. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. Speaking of the Tomahawks, FNL Lacrosse, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Back on the air tomorrow night, special time, 6 o'clock live. Coach Cameron will join me in studio. All right, Roger, this one, danger time, I guess, for Londonderry. Down 4 now with the momentum clearly on the Pinkerton side.
Yeah, I think what Coach Gaudreau was saying to his boys here is that we've got a full minute. Do not shoot the ball within the first 10 seconds of this. Burn some clock. It's not a lock penalty, so we don't need to score as many goals as we possibly could in this 1 minute. Kill the clock. Let's get this thing down to maybe around 10:20, somewhere in there. Okay, excuse me, about 10:30. And then let's see what we can do. Maybe we'll run our regular 30-second play for attack. But don't lose the ball out of bounds right now and give it back to Londonderry.
And how aggressive are you if you're Londonderry here down a man?
I think you got to get the ball. Well, there's still a lot of time left here, so I think you play your normal defense here. I don't think you have a whole lot of choices because you don't want to give up an easy goal by pressing out against this team that's ticking right now. Yeah, they're going to play their normal box and one here.
Around the horn it goes. Yeah, Londonderry packed in here.
Yep. And Pinkerton's playing perimeter, so, I mean, there's no need to really do anything crazy.
Scala behind the cage. Summers.
Here
Extra pass. Shot. A bouncer there for Morrison is off target. And then a foot race behind the cage. A good effort by the Lancer defenseman Cam Ayotte, but it will stay with Pinkerton.
Yeah, and boy, it just did not come out true out of his stick for Morrison there.
Final 10 seconds on the man up. Around the horn it
Rotation.
goes. Shot from Scala.
Barrett.
Tough angle. Another save for Barrett. Who has held his own, but he can't quite pull it in.
Interference.
There's a lot of action there near the crease, and finally the whistle will give it to Londonderry.
Yeah, that was a long whistle. They were interfering with the goalie earlier than the 3 seconds he gave him. Bang.
Seen some good things lately from this Pinkerton ride. Can Londonderry get the clear they need? Strip at midfield, says no.
Oh.
Alec Henry with a good defensive effort. Pass.
One more.
Taken by Scala. Wong will circle back towards the corner. And again, Pinkerton playing with a 4-goal lead in no hurry here. 2 minutes into this fourth quarter.
All right, even strength here.
Erickson. Summers. Wong. Back around for Morrison. Closed out defensively by Aiden White. Erickson to his right. Going to fire across the body. And it goes a little wide, about 2 feet to the left side of that cage. But again, Scala is there for Pinkerton. Scala trying to find an angle.
Ooh.
Sheds the defender, kick save. Ground ball brings a whistle. Scala hit the ground. And again, it will belong to the Astros.
Yeah, that went off of Barrett's leg. Give him a kick save.
He stood tall today.
He really has. He really has.
Yeah. It's gotten better as the game has gone on, but still has surrendered 9. There's another save. Ground ball to Ayotte, and Londonderry again gets to it, but now they got to work out of their own end on the clear. They enlist the help of the goaltender. The senior is going to launch a high rainbow pass. Collected low by Padels. He's met with a check. Brutus arrives on the scene, and Londonderry gets the clear they needed.
Critical possession here, Nick.
Just over 3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Lancers have not scored since the opening 2 minutes of the second half. Brutus looking for help. Slide comes over. Ball is out. There's Lewis. Looks in front for the sophomore, and the shot is wide from Campbell.
Ooh.
Stayed inbounds, though, with maybe a foot to spare.
Baker hacking on Waldron here.
Yep, Waldron is going to take it, going to fire. That one a little wide.
So take a look at Camber's stick. He has changed sticks. He's got a blue-headed stick. Looks a little wider, a little more intact for him.
He's going to approach slowly from behind the cage.
He's going to turn it. He's going to turn it.
Met with resistance by Michoud. Slide comes over. That sets up. Waldron's shot is an inch high. Waldron, meanwhile, knocked down on the shot.
Yeah, he lost
and
his
a
footing.
little slow to get up. The junior showing a bit of a limp as he looks to get back on defense.
Yeah, combo hit with a stick and a bad foot on the left.
Meanwhile, 4 minutes gone by now, fourth quarter. Pinkerton's largest lead still on the board at 9-5. Santabasimo absorbs a couple of stick checks and escapes the midfield. Now he's coming down the middle. Moves to his right, draws the slide, fires anyway, and there's another save for Barrett.
Oh, he got it right on the thigh, right on the inner thigh.
He's taking a beating.
He is.
Outlet pass off target. Pinkerton looking to make him pay. Pass to the middle for Summers.
Oh, nice
backdoor. Took his eye off the ball. It's loose out in front. Somewhere in that mix is the sophomore Gormady for Pinkerton, and ultimately it's Londonderry who comes away with it. Dawson up the sideline. Avoids a check attempt. Crosses midfield. Dawson's still with it. Trying to test the waters to his right. Extra defender in the area for Pinkerton. Little split dodge, and that leads to a Coach Wiedenfeld timeout. Londonderry will talk it over. 5 minutes even gone by in this fourth quarter. Pinkerton's lead is 9-5. And again, the last five have gone to the Astros in this second half.
Yeah. Barrett, the other night in the Dover game, took one right off the inner thigh, too, and he was out for the little bit of that first quarter. He was hurting, and he's kind of hurting right now. You can tell by the way he's walking, the way he crouched in the creech there. He took 3 off the body right there. His last 3 saves were not in his stick.
Right. Well, it seems like, based on his play today, that Waldron move makes a little more sense now, given the capabilities of the guy coming in to fill the job. That's the senior Nathan Barrett.
Yeah, absolutely. My sons and I talked about it the last couple of days because, of course, my youngest son is on the Dover staff. So right after that game, we're like, what's the lesser of two evils here? Do you want more goals or do you want better defense?
Right.
But if you got a guy that can fill in that for you and he's reliable and he's getting better and he has gotten better during the season, you put the backside poles up with him. And you're holding their own. Obviously, they've been doing it for 3 quarters here with Pinkerton, with the exception of that 3-goal run in the third. But, that's exactly right. It gives you confidence.
This was a 2-0 lead for Pinkerton after the first quarter. Londonderry came back to tie the game at 4 at halftime. Lancer scored the first goal of the second half. But, again, the last 5 have gone to Pinkerton. So 9-5 with an even 5 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you live from Lancer Park. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Sun starting to set here in southern New Hampshire and the temperature dropping a bit.
So they're going to mask Waldron here. They're going to mask go 5-1. Look at this. Exactly.
Now Coach Wiedenfeld drew it up. And Cam Lewis having one of his better games of the season. Able to execute to perfection. Londonderry needed it. They got it. And they're back within shouting distance at 9-6.
So this is great coaching on both halves. Okay, timeout. Gaudreau sees what Wiedenfeld's probably going to do with Stoll and Waldron, because that's been the connection earlier in the game. Gives the ball to Stoll. You can see the play starting to develop. They face guard Colby and keep him out of the play, and Stoll just takes the ball to the rack. That's the way to do it, guys.
Face off. Goes to Londonderry. Heward. Near side. Waldron goes high. In a foot race. Won by Londonderry.
Wow.
Jackson Chase right there.
He was.
But they say by a whisker, it was Blake Thompson who got to it. So the Lancers look to build momentum, hoping for a second straight to make this a 2-goal game again. Lewis going to gallop behind the cage. 2 players behind net for Londonderry. Lewis, check there. Didn't know he lost the ball.
Oh, that's good play. That's good lacrosse.
There's a whistle, and it's going to go against Lewis. A little bit of a push there. Alec Henry.
Yeah, but face-to-face wasn't back-to-back.
Well, Quintilani can't find it at midfield. Brutus comes sweeping in but lost his footing. Ball is still loose. Henry scoops down. One of the Lancers
procedure
in the area is going to draw a whistle.
Yep. All right. I'll save my comments on that till post.
I believe it was the bar. I believe it was the Astros Quintilani who lost the stick there.
Yeah, but
all right, Londonderry.
Oh,
back to work. Knight.
Another timeout?
And
failure to advance.
Yep.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Both teams are going to take advantage of the whistle and switch up personnel. It's going to stay with Londonderry. Just past the midway point, 4th quarter. Clock starting to become a factor.
Yes. This is a must situation, I think. And when I say that, I mean, don't just try to get the goal fast here. Try to get it smart. Control the ball. Don't make a dumb play or a dumb pass. Yes, the clock is a factor, but the goal is more important right now.
Pinkerton shorthanded for the first time in the second half. To the middle. Campbell back out. Brodus dropped it. And quickly seizing on the opportunity is Jackson Chase for Pinkerton. Gets a head nod to the home fans as he jogs back to the defensive end for Pinkerton. Meanwhile, the Lancers starting to press out a bit, going all the way to the boundary here. Gormady is pushed out of bounds. Good defensive effort. That'll get the Lancers the ball back. Owen Rondo with a heads-up defensive play there.
Good hustle by the Astros to get back.
Inside of 5 minutes now to go in regulation. Morrison involved there for Pinkerton. Ty Parsons for Londonderry. Parsons went down. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay with the home team.
Yep. Good call. Yeah, all of a sudden it seems like Londonderry is having a hard time holding on to the ball here in the midfield between the boxes. That's a push.
No whistle. Taken away by Morrison, but he's in trouble. A defender on each side. Ball poked loose, still rolling towards the Lancer bench. Knight is there for Londonderry. We get a whistle, and they're going to give it to Pinkerton. Part of it, Roger, maybe the lights aren't quite fully on yet, and we're in that kind of twilight period where it may be a little more challenging to see the ball.
Yeah, especially for an old guy.
I meant for the players. But
I thought you were talking about the old guy.
No.
Okay. That's why they're using yellow balls. That's kind of the thing. Come playoff time, they're supposed to, but
I was just looking for an excuse.
I know.
Here he is out of the cage, Barrett. Forced to give it up to the middle. Ayotte, after a wrestling match with Wong, recovers, spins to his right. Morrison's on him now.
Chicken wing.
Loose, poked up, off the head of the stick. Lewis goes down. Morrison
That's a push too.
make it Quintilani. Crowd wants a whistle. They'll finally get one. Just over 4 minutes here, and a push does go against the Astros.
Yeah.
They got their money's worth on that whistle.
There was grounds for a flag on that one prior because he had possession when he got pushed. Not the second that they actually whistled, but look at this ride here.
Yeah, this is Zach Baker, the long pole, all over Lewis. Lewis stops on a dime and gets rid of it. Stoll now with some breathing room here on the near wing, inside of 4 minutes.
Got it.
Stoll shot. Got a piece. The goaltender with a save there. Ball stays in bounds. Chase gets to it, lost it out of bounds. Good ride by Campbell. Continues to make a play here at the varsity level in his first action with the big boys.
Yeah, definitely.
Going to scoop one here tonight. Now Knight trying to find an angle. Ridden behind the cage, trying to turn, shoots.
No backup.
A little bit wide, and this time it's Chase who does win the foot race.
All right, that's where the freshman Campbell's got to be there on the backside. When he sees Thompson come far side to this side, he needs to be that backside backup.
Clock ticking down towards 3 minutes. Double team, split dodge at midfield, no problem for the athletic Morrison. The junior now will pump the brakes. Back up top for Quintilani. Well, as we know, no shot clock in the NHIAA, so Pinkerton free to do as they please here, playing with a 3-goal lead.
And that they will. I don't expect that there's any real reason to force anything. Yep, except a bad pass.
Ayotte, a little bit of pressure there provided, may have influenced that one. Meanwhile, Summers picks it up and puts it in play for Pinkerton. I don't think the ball ever went out of bounds.
Wow.
Tough for us to judge here at this angle. Meanwhile, Wong behind the cage. Draws the defender Ayotte. Comes back for Gormady, who has scored 3 times today. But he's met in a hurry by the Lancer defender Owen Rondo. Again, trying to navigate that sideline in the corner. And doing so successfully is Gormady. Helped out by Scala. Now Morrison at midfield as we tick down towards 2 minutes. Morrison wants one for himself. Shoots on the run. It's wide. And again, it'll belong to Pinkerton. Coming up after the game, a look back, stats, highlights, analysis. All the good stuff. So don't go anywhere after this one concludes. Meanwhile, a timeout is going to be called here by Pinkerton.
All the nuts and bolts you care to hear and talk about.
Clock stopped with 2 minutes even remaining here in this fourth quarter. So if Pinkerton, Roger, can hang on, they're back to 5-5. They will have won 3 out of the last 4. And after kind of a rocky start, some reason for some optimism at the midway point of the regular season.
Absolutely. And I think there's reason for Coach Gaudreau to be pleased with the performance he's seeing out there today. And the same with Coach Wiedenfeld. I mean, they were in this game, not that they're out of it, but 2 minutes and 3 goals. It's going to be a hard hill to climb. But Londonderry showed some real spunk out there today. Again, as we've said it so many times in this game of lacrosse, you get a run going, and it's really hard to recover from that. And that's really been the difference. What was it, a 5-goal, 3 goals in the third, and then 2? Was that right?
Yep.
3 goals and then 2 in the fourth. So, that's hard to recover from.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
Yeah, at any level.
Yep.
That kind of a run is usually the sub-headline.
Yeah, so that's going to put both teams, like you said, back at 500. Londonderry will be 4-4, according to the NHIAA standings, and that'll put Pinkerton at 5-5. But points-wise, it looks like Pinkerton will make that jump over them by a couple of points at the very least. So,
of course, a little too early to start the playoff talk. Although I guess it's never too early.
Well, hey, you and Coach Cam were talking about who's going to be in first place and where BG's going to end up and what the matchups are going to be and all that good stuff last week. So never too early to think about that.
True.
In my book.
True. And, of course, sometimes the regular season records can be deceiving.
Indeed.
Given the amount of out-of-state opponents and the quality of the out-of-state opponents on the schedule for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, and that's why Coach Cam is comfortable talking about matchups, and it really doesn't care if he's in first place or second place. It's his competition that he's playing outside of the state. Good play.
Shot and score. Waldron, his second of the afternoon. Should say of the evening at this point.
Indeed.
So not done yet. The candle's still burning for Londonderry, 9-7. 2 unanswered by the Lancers, but the clock is a major factor at this point with just 1:24 remaining.
Well, that'll be his third point of the afternoon and 2-1 on the night so far. Probably should have had a couple more, but they played him pretty tough. And he's seen all 3 of the long pole defenders on him. Not Chase so much, but certainly number 8 here from the Astros has predominantly masked him the entire time.
That's Brendan Carney, who has played well. Face-off win for Stingle. Speaking of playing well, going to turn it over here with a pass. Pretty good hit laid there at midfield by Heward, who ends up with the ground ball for Londonderry. Now the long pole, trying to weave his way by 2 defenders. Shot, bouncer is wide.
Little toe drag there by Heward.
Excellent individual effort, but the shot just didn't quite come out of the long pole the way he thought. Meanwhile, a timeout here is called by Londonderry.
Okay, yeah, they did have one. Yeah.
So 1:06 remaining in this fourth quarter. 9-7 is the Astro lead.
Yeah, good call.
And again, Londonderry will have it here.
Yeah, I like this call. You got it. Give yourself a little bit of time here. If you put it in, you got the time to win the faceoff. You probably put Brutus out there and your best D mids like Dawson on the wings here, and see what you can do to tie this thing up. So watch for this draw again. Watch what they do with Stoll and Thompson now, and see if they put Waldron in a different spot instead of on this near side where we're at, and see if they don't switch something up and try and get the face guard eliminated with number 8,
Carney.
I'm forgetting his name. But they got to do something maybe a little bit different than what they did the last time with Stoll when Stoll scored that last goal.
Anything specific from Pinkerton defensively here?
Tight chest to chest, stick to stick, as we used to say. Don't let them move. Don't let them pivot on you. Don't let them get through on you. The goalie should be screaming at his defenders here to let them know what's going on backside if they have their back to the play or their back to the ball. So I'll be listening for that. But, you want to go chest to chest with your man right here.
Yeah, and you can see the communication already here amongst the Astro defenders.
Yeah.
Londonderry.
All right, so, yeah, a little
Trying to give it
set.
one more effort here with 66 seconds to go. A chance to make it a 1-goal game.
Okay, look at this. At 1-4 right from the very start. Watch the crash.
Waldron.
He's got a short stick.
Here he comes to his right, looks into the middle, and that pass gets through everybody somehow. Lewis gets to it, barely keeps his feet. The junior now on the run behind the cage. We're inside of a minute. Looks for a trailer. Good defensive effort, sprawling out there to break up the pass was Michaud. Michaud is there for the ground ball, and the Astros have it. Michaud looks for Perkins inside of 40 seconds. The freshman comes near side for the long pole, Carney. Londonderry retreats to midfield. Carney comes at full speed, throws a bounce pass for Chase. Goes into the corners where Summers is. He's going to spin, and now it's a game of keep away here for the Astros as we're down to 20 seconds. Gormady being chased by Ayotte. Going to take a trip to the far side, draw a slide. This one's going to roll behind the cage. Scala trying to find it. Brutus takes it away from Londonderry. We're down to 10 seconds. He's going to blindly throw it towards midfield. Waldron trying to locate it. Michaud in the mix for Pinkerton as well. Couple of big hits, couple of chops, and that is going to bring the final whistle. And Pinkerton is going to walk out of here with a 9-7 victory over crosstown rival Londonderry.
Wow, I liked what Londonderry did there on that timeout. I really did. They had something in the playbook, almost connected on that, but didn't connect.
Pinkerton, they win their 5th. They get back to 500 at 5-5. Londonderry, they slip to 4-4. Coming up, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, and then some. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, 9-7 ends up being the final here at Lancer Park as Pinkerton holds off Londonderry to capture their 5th win of the season. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Pinkerton got off to the start they were hoping for. Coach Gaudreau's Astros scored the first 2 goals of the game and led 2-0 after the first quarter. Londonderry in the second quarter came alive on the attack and ended up tying the game at halftime, 4 apiece as we headed to that third quarter. That momentum continued for the home team. They took their only lead in the opening minutes of the third quarter, 5-4 at that point. They scored 5 goals on 5 different goal scorers. But then Pinkerton started shoring a few things up on their attack.
A lot crisper.
As you mentioned during the broadcast, it seemed like the second half, some of those kinks got ironed out. And as a result, they put together 5 straight goals, 3 in that third quarter and 2 more to open up the fourth. In fact, 2 in the first minute of the fourth quarter as they held their largest lead at 9-5. But Londonderry kept in the game, frankly, at times by Nathan Barrett, the senior goaltender. We'll get those numbers to you in just a moment. And then Londonderry scores twice in the final 5 minutes to make it interesting. But in the end, they run out of time. Pinkerton gets the victory by a final score, Roger, of 9-7.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you're exactly right. That connection, which really kind of started at the end of that 3-goal run for Pinkerton between Cole Summers and Tyler Barry. Cole Summers and Gormady. That was a connection that was working boom, boom for them. They tried it a couple other times. Gormady ended up scoring, or Summers ended up scoring another one, I believe, later on in that game. But that was the turning point, I think, where I really started to see the Pinkerton offense really start to sharpen up. All the passes were sharp. They were in the right spots. They had the right backups when they were missing. And I think, now that I'm looking back at my numbers, because Nathan Barrett was the difference for the Lancers in keeping them in that game. He had 10 saves.
Yeah.
And you know, not everything was off his stick, as we said during the broadcast, but he was there. He stood tall. So he was getting peppered because the Astros were sharp and they were getting shots on net.
Yeah.
Made a big difference. Big difference.
Face-offs?
Face-offs, yeah. Well, we we talked about it off camera.
6-4 at halftime in favor of Pinkerton.
6-4. It was a takeaway. Stengel, who was the exclusive one for the Astros, they went between Heward and Brutus, between those two on Londonderry, 13-7. So it was a runaway for Pinkerton in the end.
Other scores, Roger, we touch on it at halftime. We'll touch it again now. Big matchup in Division II, a double OT affair between Timberlane and St. Thomas.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the only info I have right now. There were several big games in Division II, and that was that double overtime win where Timberlane pulled it out 10-9 over St. Thomas. And St. Thomas, they could be that. You and I talked at the beginning of the broadcast off camera again. They could be that ace in the hole, fifth
Kind of a
spot.
dark horse.
Yeah. They're very silent doing well over there on the seacoast.
Yeah. We'll talk about this game here tonight, the other scores, and a lot more. Tomorrow night, FNL Lacrosse presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Special night this week, Thursday. We come your way live at 6 o'clock. Good to have you back in the fold, my friend.
Always great to be back in the wilderness. We're not in a booth. Always good to be here by your side and watching lacrosse. You know I'd be.
Yeah, you didn't miss a beat. Jump right back into the fray. We're glad to have you back. Next week, busy week as well, as we'll be in Bedford for a big girls Division I matchup between BG and the Bulldogs, and then on Thursday, the highly anticipated Division II championship rematch of Portsmouth at Derryfield. A week from tomorrow night,
Can't
May
wait
the
for
9th.
that one.
So
Can't
we
wait
are
for that one.
Already starting
our first
to count
D1
down.
game, our D2 game of the season.
That's right.
We've been shut out.
All right. I want to thank a few people. Of course, Coach Lozon here, the athletic director, for making some special accommodations for us here in the media. We appreciate that as usual. Josh Lebrecht doing a great job behind the scenes today. And, of course, the MVP, Kat Doyle, doing the heavy lifting behind the lens tonight.
MVP.
For us here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Of course, thank the sponsors as well. That's Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, and the New Hampshire Tomahawks. For the man behind the curtain, our director, Ben Beals, and executive producer, Steve Beals. My partner, Roger Howe. My name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 9, Londonderry 7. It's been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.